Hi everyone. I wanted to do something a little different and intimate and read you a passage from my book, Enough to Rise, which is on reclaiming self-worth and breaking the cycle of generational trauma. I'm 4 years old, sitting on the carpet alone, wondering when my parents will ever come home, if they'll come home. The carpet is khaki, the pale hue of a desert, a barren landscape where I don't see anyone for what feels like days. Baba's at work and mommy's at school. A typical day for me with no childcare because my parents can't afford it living in San Francisco. Sometimes I'd be dropped off at a family friend's apartment up the street so she could babysit me. But not today. This all feels normal to me by now. It's the first home I know, the one before we moved to Mason Street. It overlooks Polk Street at the corner where it intersects Washington and Russian Hill, a quaint residential neighborhood west of Chinatown. If you've ever visited Lombard Street, famously known as the crookedest street in the world, then you've been in this neighborhood. Pick the right hill to stand on, and you can see views of the bay spanning from the Golden Gate Bridge to the Bay Bridge. Have the right salary, and you could be living large in a historic hilltop mansion. Not us, of course. We, like many other low-income residents in the neighborhood, live in cramped apartment buildings with many units. Ours has 24. Outside our building, the 19 Polk bus zips by. Patrons sip their cappuccinos at the bustling cafes. Shoppers browse in boutiques, and rowdy crowds fill the bars at night. I wish it were as lively inside our home. Inside, it's quiet. Inside, it's lonely. We're in a one-bedroom unit with a living room as you enter, a small kitchen to the right, a bathroom to the left, and a bedroom next to the living room. Potted plants by the window keep me company. Our alarm clock with the glow-in-the-dark numbers ticks. I pull at the lint on my pink sweatshirt. I glance at the sofa with no one sitting on it. I stare at a square tin of Chinky egg cookie rolls on a wooden shelf. It's a piece of Hong Kong in our home, a taste of Baba's life from before. As in many immigrant families, imported snacks are edible tokens of our roots. They bring familiar comfort and remind us that we belong. Dried squid, rice crackers, and Hall Flakes, candy shaped into pink discs made from hawthorn berries, sit stowed away in a kitchen cupboard I'm too short to reach. My stomach growls. I'm tempted to pry open the metal Chinky lid and sneak a sweet cookie out, but I hold back, afraid to act on my impulse without explicit permission. I can hear my mom's voice in my head. 真啊，做乖女啊, she would say, reminding me to be an obedient girl in Cantonese. So I wait, turning my head away from the cookie tin so it doesn't taunt me anymore. I wait, subconsciously turning my heart away from any emotion because feeling my feelings would collapse my world. Not knowing when my parents would come back becomes one of the greatest wounds of my life. But at 4 years old, I subconsciously repress any feelings of helplessness, panic, sadness, or anger in order to survive, just as my parents did when they sent my brother away. So that's just one little excerpt from my book, which is what I have been working on for 5 years, and I published last October. And some of you from YouTube or watching my videos may know me as a traveler, somebody who used to create a lot of travel videos from Cuba to Germany to Taiwan, and Switzerland and all over, and Italy too. And I want to say that as much as I enjoy traveling, I also love traveling into the mind and the psyche. And that's where I've been the past few years, which is why you haven't seen any videos of me traveling recently, because I've done a different kind of traveling into my childhood trauma, traveling into my past, traveling into my family stories to break the cycle of generational trauma. And now that I have a family of my own and a child, I feel that this is one of the greatest adventures of my life. So that's just a little update from me, going from traveling the world to traveling the psyche and into myself, and getting to know my inner child, and how my past trauma has shaped my relationships, also my relationship with my body and myself, and others. So that is why I had to take a break, and now I'm back and I have energy now that the book is out. So for any of you OG people who have been following me for a while, please go grab a copy of my book, Enough to Rise. It's available on Amazon and in many of the bookstores worldwide, online. And if you've ever struggled with self-worth, feeling like no matter what you did, no matter how much you pleased, no matter how much you performed and achieved and were promoted and were given pats on the back, like it never felt good enough and you still felt this emptiness inside, this book is for you. This book is for all of us who grew up feeling like we were never enough. But as I've learned from raising a child, I've learned that actually we're all born enough. It's just that a lot of our pain, or a lot of our repressed pain, impacted how we showed up in the world. And there is hope for all of us to break the cycle through many ways: therapy, coaching, somatic work, psychedelics, so many things and so many resources available to us. And so wherever you are in the world, I wish you happy travels, whether that's traveling outside into the world and to other countries and cities, or back to yourself. And traveling back to our authentic selves is one of the greatest, most beautiful things that we can do, because when we connect with ourselves, our true authentic selves, beyond our familial, cultural, and societal conditioning, we can really be free to be authentic and connect with other people in a way that's embodied in love rather than fear and trauma and a lot of programming. And so I truly believe that, especially right now with all that's going on in the world, healing is so important, because individual healing leads to collective healing, and individual liberation leads to collective liberation. So let's band together and let's fucking rise. Thank you for watching.